Hi, and welcome to this week's Wise Tip Wednesday. Today I'm going to show you how to harvest your herbs so that they grow back even fuller and more abundant than before. If you've been picking your herbs like basil leaf by leaf, then you definitely want to pay attention to this tip. When you go to harvest your herbs, look at your plants and notice how there's sort of like little stalks or leaves shooting up from the kind of armpit of the plant. This is the spot where each branch meets the main stem. These little leaves are going to become new branches after you harvest your herbs. So how you do it is you take a pair of scissors and a cup of water out to your garden, look at your plant, and find a spot near the base of the plant where little baby leaves or some stalks are sticking out between the main stem and another leaf. Cut that main stem right above that spot where those little branches are sticking out. You want to make your cut right above the lowest set of these little sort of armpit leaves that you can find, because when they grow into main branches, then it's going to make your plant as sturdy as it can possibly be, because your plant's going to grow bushy and big once you make this cut. Often I'll just want to use a few leaves of basil in a day and maybe a few leaves the next day, but I don't want to just go out and cut leaves off of my plant. I want to cut the stalk so that my basil plant will regrow in this nice bushy abundant way. So what I'll do is I will just take a cup of water and I will cut my basil branches and I'll just let them sit in the cup of water on the kitchen counter, and I'll use the leaves as I want them and as I need them over the next few days, and they'll stay nice and fresh and fragrant and abundant, and my new leaves on my basil plants, my new branches, will be growing and creating even more amazing basil for me to harvest in a couple weeks. If you do put your basil into a cup of water, make sure you trim off or use the bottom leaves first so that they don't rot when they're sitting there in that cup of water. It's one of my favorite smells. If you're new to using fresh herbs, make sure you only use the leaves and not the stems. The stems aren't very good. Even though we've cut the stems off, this isn't a part you want to use, so just throw them in your compost. You can also use this technique to harvest other herbs besides basil. One example is oregano. And really with oregano, you can just cut above any of those sets of leaves because new little branches will grow out from there. You just want to cut close to the bottom of the stem near the ground so that you'll have a nice sturdy plant when those new stems grow. One thing I love about this technique is every time you harvest your herbs this way, you're going to get two branches where there used to just be one. So that means twice as many of those delicious herbs. Thank you so much for watching. I really enjoyed teaching you this technique today, and I hope that it changes the way you harvest your herbs and you get amazing abundant harvests from now on. I remember when I was a new gardener and it seemed so overwhelming. There was so much to learn. I felt like I could never learn it all. But you know what? It's just step by step, and I have a lot of fun helping you learn how to garden. I do this because I believe that you can have a more beautiful, happier, healthier life by cultivating a beautiful relationship with the earth, and that gardening is one of the best ways to do that. If you're on Instagram, check me out. My name is Grow Beautiful. And if you're interested in learning how you can get free plants to jumpstart your garden, head on over to my website. You can click on this little book here, and I will send you that book if you just put in your email address. And as always, I'll see you next Wednesday.